Once you have replicated your inventory counter for all of the inventory locations that you are counting, you'll navigate back to HVMS main and open up your Inventory Reconcile module. Every time you open this module, a quick cleanup procedure will be run. Once the procedure finishes, you will see the Reconcile screen here. Within the Reconcile screen, you have a few options. You can use today's date to reconcile your inventory count or set an effective date. You would set an effective date if you were reconciling after the day you counted. It is always best practice to count and reconcile on the same day. For reconcile types, we have a full count. Full counts will zero out all items that have not been counted. You would only want to use the full count if you do not have controlled drugs in a specific location that you are reconciling and all items have been counted. Full count, exclude controlled by bottle, is used for all locations that have controlled by bottled items. This means the controlled by bottled items will not be zeroed out in the count. The controlled items should not be counted using the inventory counter and should be adjusted manually on the inventory item itself. This count will still zero out all other items that have not been counted. Cycle count allows you to just adjust the inventory items that have been counted in the inventory counter. This means if you have 10 items in that location and you only counted 2, only the 2 that you counted would be adjusted and the others would not be touched. Your reconcile locations are going to show all of your inventory locations. If a location has been counted and not reconciled, you will see the checkbox here on the left and the counted checkbox here on the right. It is important to note that you should not reconcile more than one location at a time. This can bog down the system for HVMS users. Before reconciling any locations, you should run a pre-reconcile report. If you would like the report to include all counted locations, you can run the report with these locations checked off. If you would like to run the report for only specific counted locations, use the red box to uncheck all locations and then recheck the location you would like to run the pre-reconcile report for. This report is going to generate all of the items that have been counted. Here you will see the controlled items pages should be blank. Since we selected cycle count only, this report is just going to show the items that we counted. If I were to select full count and run this report again, it's going to show all items within the location. The items that we counted will have a value in the counted column, and the items that are not counted will have a 0. This counted column is what the items will be updated to. When you're ready to reconcile, you will select which location you're reconciling and select your reconcile type. You'll then click Reconcile. This warning will generate, and you do have the option to send a broadcast to all HVMS users. Users should not be replicating the counter program or their tablet program while an HVMS inventory reconcile is being performed. When you are ready to reconcile, click the Reconcile button. This may take a few moments depending on the quantity of inventory you are reconciling. When the reconcile is complete, you have the option to view your transaction summary report. Cleanup procedures will also run. This report will show you all items that have been reconciled. You will see now that the counted column is unchecked. We can scroll down and now reconcile our next location. I will select a full count, exclude controlled by bottle. I will click Reconcile and reconcile again. We can now see, since this was a full reconcile, the items that were not counted and their adjustments back down to 0. If there were any errors in counting, that then got reconciled, the user either needs to manually adjust the item, or you can recount the item using the inventory counter and select a cycle count only. The history will list all of your reconcile periods and their type and location. It is important to reconcile your inventory at least biannually to ensure your inventory counts in HVMS are up to date. This will also affect many reports, such as your cost on hand reports.